Russ, first off, congratulations on an outstanding season so far. Have you caught yourself by surprise a little bit by the success you're having?
At times, yes, but at times, no. Basically, I knew I've had it in me, but there are a couple punts where I've punted and I'm like, wow, I didn't know I could actually do that. But to answer your question, no, not really. I always knew I had it in me. I've trained with my brother well. He's my coach to help me punt and everything. So during COVID, he really helped me out a lot. So
Just to fill us in on the story, how did you get involved with punting? What drew you to punting?
Well, I was a goalkeeper in high school, and basically it kind of started from there. And I went to a couple kicking camps, and they said, with your size and frame, you should be a punter, not a kicker. So I kind of took that to heart and worked on punting a lot. And then my senior year in football, my high school coach let me punt for the team, and just kind of went from there. Got some interest and ended up here at Emporia State, and then my brother kept helping me, and here I am.
So what's the key to being a good punter from your standpoint?
To be honest, there's a lot of luck involved, but the key is just to be flexible and have a good drop whenever you're dropping the ball. That's really the key to doing it. So,
Ladies?
Anything? If you have.
Hey Ross, how's it going?
good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So yeah, just kind of going, with your punting and how great of a year you're having. What do you think it's really been? If you could kind of target a couple of factors for you, what do you think it's been that's just allowed you to be such a lockdown punter?
Honestly, kind of confidence. My teammates have helped me a lot with that, just because they believe in me so much, and I know the coaching staff has a lot of trust in me. And no one ever really wants to punt, so when I get on the field, I just try to do my best for the team and try and help everyone out.
Yeah, and so do you feel that punters ever get overlooked by their coaches? I feel like Coach Higgins talks about you all the time, just how amazing you are, and like, well, I've never heard a coach give his punter this much notice before and respect.
Yeah, I mean, it's not common, but I think some coaches do love their punters and kickers a lot, and luckily that's what Coach Higgins does with me. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously really important. That's all I really had, so thanks.
Yep.
Hey Ross, I just have one for you. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I'm wondering what your off season looked like. If there's anything particular you worked on to get the season you've had this year.
To be honest, just try to get a little stronger, a little more flexible, and then just Sam Dobbins and Kenneth Hartwig and I, we all in the summer we just went out and punted and kicked and just tried to get a whole lot better and get the repetition down for everything.
So, thanks.
Yep.
And then, like you mentioned, no one really wants to punt. If you're on the field, it means something has gone
Yep.
wrong. What's the mindset for you as a punter? No one's going to necessarily cheer when the punter comes on the field. So how do you go about that role?
To be honest, just trying to hit a big punt, trying to give the defense some momentum and try and flip the field, and then try and give some juice to the team on the sidelines and get everyone pumped up a little bit. So, yeah.
All right. Are we good?
Yep.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
guys.
All right. I got sixth year senior, Marek Thompson, D-line.
Oh, Marek has mentioned it's senior day coming up on Saturday. Does it seem kind of a little surreal getting ready for your final game at Welch Stadium?
Yeah, it doesn't seem real at all, honestly. It seems like I just walked on campus a couple weeks ago, but 6 years flew by, and grateful for my time here and excited to do one more. So.
You guys are coming off a really impressive win on Saturday over Fort Hays State. What kind of confidence boost did they give you guys?
That was just a great team win. I mean, everybody contributed. I mean, even guys off the bench. So hopefully that carries over into this week, and we get some good things this week. So.
I was just going to say, the last couple weeks especially, it seems like the defense has been pretty locked in and holding opponents to lower scores. What's different, if anything? What has been different the past couple weeks?
I think practice habits contribute a lot to that. I mean, just making sure you're locked in practice, making sure everybody's locked in, not just the first team, not just second team, but the whole depth chart. So.
Lainey?
Hey Marek, how's it going?
Doing all right. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So just what have you noticed about Lincoln's offense so far?
They got a few skilled players. They like to throw the ball around a little bit. I think we just go out there, focus on us, do what we do, we'll be all right.
And as a defensive lineman, just what is kind of you kind of said, just do what you do, but what is your game plan for this week?
I think defensive line-wise, we just like to play physical and control the line of scrimmage. I think that's our goal every week. So.
And is there any other just kind of keys to the game you think, other areas of the team that you think are really just going to have to be locked in to get the win this weekend?
Yeah, the biggest thing, like I said, is control the line of scrimmage, stop the run game, and then rush the passer when we can. So.
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks.
Marley?
Hey, Marek, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Good. Hey, so we've been talking a lot about the close games you guys have had. The last 7 now have been decided by a touchdown or less. How did it feel to come out on the winning side on Saturday?
It was great, for real. Just having that back-to-back feeling, 2 wins in a row, that was really big for our team, and hopefully we can carry that momentum.
You got an 0-8 team on Saturday. How are you guys kind of focusing and not overlooking Lincoln?
Yeah, like I said, just go out there, do what we do. Control line of scrimmage, I think we'll be happy at the end of the day.
Thanks.
What are your, okay, like I said, you've been here 6 years. It's going to be the last time you can go out on the field at
Yeah.
Welch Stadium. It's kind of what are your thoughts going into that?
Like I said, it's surreal, just taking every moment I can and hopefully remember it all and take it with me in life and move on from there. So.
Who's going to be more emotional, you or your family? Because your family's at a lot of games.
I think my little brother's going to be the most upset just that it's the last home game, and I think he likes being around the locker room just as much as I do. So.
All right. You good? Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. Got Brayden Gleason up. Little Greek.
Well, Braden, you've had a chance to look at Lincoln on film. What stands out about Lincoln's defense?
They're athletic and they're going to play hard every play of the game, so we just got to come out ready to go and match their intensity.
Well, last week you're coming off a game that I felt like you matched Fort Hays' intensity, but it was the last 6 minutes where you guys really flipped the switch and things really started happening for you. Was it just a case of being patient and waiting for things to break?
It's just, there's one of those games that, everything's not getting going. Like you might get a couple plays here, something might happen, but, we just trusted it in each other and knew eventually that we were going to get something going and go down there and score. So when they scored again, it was like there was no, we had to go at that point. There was no waiting around. So that's kind of what we did and made it happen.
You guys obviously played in a lot of close games. As a quarterback, do you feel like, do you play better under that pressure? Probably everyone would rather have a 28-point lead or whatever, but
Right.
Is it easier for you to play well under pressure or with less pressure like that?
I think no matter what, you got to bring the same mindset each drive, each play. Up 20, down 20, up 2, down 2, you got to bring it every drive out there.
The past couple games have been some of your lower point outputs of the season, but you've still gotten wins. What would you say is the confidence level of this offense right now?
Oh, we're still up. We just, you're not always going to go out there and score, hang 50 on them, one of those things, but, we still trust in each other. We trust in the game plan, the schemes, and, things get rolling for us. It can happen like that. So we're not down or up too high. We're still exactly where we need to be.
Lenny?
Hey, Braden, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good. So, yeah, being able to string together those scores towards the end of that Fort Hays game and actually being able to win is pretty insane. So just what did you learn about your team, your guys' ability to come together, even late in the game to pull off a win?
Well, I already knew just from the beginning of the year of just how every other game has been that we're not going to quit fighting, we're resilient. So when we were in that situation, I didn't doubt us or nobody was doubting anybody. We knew what we could do and we just went out there and executed.
And is there anything that you learned in that game that you want to take into this weekend's game against Lincoln?
Not wait till the last 4 minutes to score.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And just what else have you noticed about Lincoln this week?
They're going to come out and play hard and they'll have a good game plan and we just got to be ready and go out there and execute our game plan.
And what about their defense specifically?
They're going to show a lot of different, they'll go 2 high, 1 high looks, and we just got to be on the same page as quarterbacks and receivers, just knowing where to go with the ball, different looks. So that'll be the challenging part this week.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
All right. Marley?
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, I'm wondering if you could walk us through how that last game-winning play was drawn up, and if the plan was to go to Brooks, and for him to take it left or right, or what that kind of looked like.
So he was actually on the wrong side, but we were trying to work the left side, and I got pressure coming from the right, and I'm glad he ended up being on the left because I could dump it off to him, and then he just made a play. I was in the back watching it all kind of unfold, see him go from one side to the other, and it was crazy to watch, honestly.
Yeah, you guys have had 7 games, the last 7 games now go down to a touchdown or less margin. How did it feel confidence-wise getting a win like that?
It's just great being on the other side of that. You put so much into this week in and week out, and the ball's not always going to bounce your way, and this time it did for us, and it's great being on the other side of that.
Yeah, you guys are coming off an obviously emotional win, and you got an 0-8 team this weekend. So how do you kind of carry your energy and make sure you don't drop one?
You just gotta. Each week is to go 1-0, so you gotta go in each week with the same mindset. It doesn't matter if they're 0-8 or 8-0. You still gotta go in the same mindset each week.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, we good?
Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you.
Well, Coach, coming off an emotional win for your ball club last Saturday over Fort Hays State, getting ready for Lincoln. We always ask you about how you felt about the way the team responded coming off a loss. How did you feel about the way these guys responded coming off an emotional win?
I think they've responded well. I think that I can tell that we've had a great week. I think that win, we've always been, every weekend, every game we play on Saturday has been, coming down to a touchdown or less. I've never been involved in so many onside kicks or trying to recover an onside kick. And as Braden said, it was good to be on the right side of the score once in a close game. And I think our guys, not that they needed to get rejuvenated by any means, but we didn't play as well as we needed to the previous week when we played Missouri Southern. And I think that our guys, it's catapulted us a little bit. I thought we've had a great week. Guys are moving around, a lot of energy, and we worked to get better this week.
What about Lincoln? What stands out about Lincoln?
Well, the thing with Lincoln is that they got a lot of talented players. It's been tough for them. I know numbers and things like that has been an issue for them. Depth has been an issue, and if you don't have depth and then you play in this league, it can be, by the time you get to the end of the year, it can be difficult. So our biggest thing that we've really concentrated on this week, as I said, is really just getting better and continuing to do that regardless. These seniors that are going to play their last home game, they're guaranteed 2 more games. That's it. And number one, we're trying to get better for them, but number two, we're still working to get better as we progress through, going into the spring and so forth. You still want to try to get better, and I think that's one of the things we've really, really concentrated on this week, and our players have done a really good job of buying into that.
We hear your players talk about that even though they're playing a team that hasn't won, they have to keep doing the same thing. As a coach, do you do the same thing? Do you feel like you need to emphasize that they can't take a week off?
No, there's no question. We've done everything the same. Everything from meeting time to everything. How we go about our preparation, we haven't changed anything. Our players and myself, we're creatures of, coaches, we're creatures of habit. And I think if you change that, I think then that's when players begin to recognize, well, why are we doing something different this week? And we haven't. So we've really just after that win, I think we've really reinforced just attention to detail with things, and continuing the process of trying to be the best football team, best football program that we can be right now, and then also for in the future.
Lane?
Hey, Coach Higgins, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
So the last 5 minutes of last weekend's game were pretty crazy. So just how is it for you as a coach just to watch your team be able to execute that late in the game and be able to come out with a win in the last few minutes?
Well, you'd think that I would be used to it by now. That's how every game is. I feel like it's went. You know, it's come down to the last possession, one side or the other. So but I'm not used to it, and I don't like it. But I will say this much, that game, I was frustrated a lot at times. We weren't moving the ball very well offensively. And I've never seen a group of guys or been in a game like that where it was just a constant positivity coming from the players, Because a lot of times, if the offense isn't moving the ball or the defense can't stop anybody, you get frustration from different players that it's part of the game that can come to the forefront. Well, it didn't. I'd never, ever noticed that. If anything, those guys kept me a little bit grounded in the fact that they kept telling me, don't worry about it, Coach, we're going to be fine. I'm like, well, let's hurry up because we don't have much time left in the game. And lo and behold, they were right. They never wavered. They really never did. I don't know, it was a weird, and I've been in games where I can tell that the frustration's there, and I don't know if we're going to pull it out, but man, it was very even kill on the sidelines, except for just excitement, after we scored that first touchdown, and then the defense had to go out and do a job and get a stop. They got a 3 and out right there, and then we were able to get the ball back and go down and score and get the 2-point conversion. It was awesome. It really was. Even though both teams are 4-4, that was a I don't want to say a season changer, but it could be something that can catapult us moving forward.
Totally. And, there are only 2 games left this season, so just what do you want to see out of your team in these last 2 games?
Yeah, well, first thing is I want to play the right way. I want to honor these 10 seniors that we got. It's a great group. Guys have been here for a long time. Out of the 10, there's looking at them, I don't know, probably I know for a fact, more than 4 of these they've been here for 4 more years, the majority of them, and I think that's what we pride our program on is bringing our players in and cultivating them and developing them while they're here. And also where it means something to them when they get done playing here. So I want to honor those guys and play the right way. And number 2, like I said, I want to continue to get better. Regardless of how many weeks we got left, because I think you can go in moving forward into the off season, have a little bit of momentum.
And specifically against Lincoln, what do you just want to see out of your team in this weekend's game to make
Yeah.
sure you guys carry that momentum from last week over?
Well, like I said, I want to play the right way. I want to execute. I want to, our players to. I want to play clean. I want to talk about. I want to do the things that we talk about all the time. We want to play clean. Eliminate turnovers and penalties. We want to, protect the football. We want to be able to. We want to win the critical areas. We get inside the 10 and want to score touchdowns. We get inside the red zone and want to score touchdowns. We want to get off the field on 3rd down. Those are the things. I want to play clean. I want to play Emporia State football.
Nice. All right, thank you.
You bet.
All right, Marley.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, we just heard Brayden talk us through the last, the game-winning touchdown last weekend. I was wondering if you could talk about kind of what the play was drawn up to be and kind of how it was executed.
Yeah, well, that's a play we've ran it before down inside the 10, and it's a little bit of what we call a man beater slash zone beater based off what they come out in. Now, I'd love to tell you that the play was drawn up perfectly, and I heard Braden talk about it, and he's right. Our tailback actually, he did his pass protection rules, but he actually lined up on the wrong side and flared to the wrong side, which, Braden got some pressure, and Braden did Braden things where he dumped the ball off to him. And then it was recruiting. Then it was somebody a player making a play. And I've learned throughout the course of coaching for as many years as I've coached is that when you get in situations like that, it's not necessarily something that you got to think about what play is going to work, trying to draw up the perfect play. To me, it's about your players and who the ball is going to go to make a play. And, it went to Kanan. Kanan's been somebody that's made plays for us all year, and as no different. He reversed field, and then we had some very heady players. Sherman Deaton, one of our offensive linemen, and Corey Thomas threw the best block I've ever seen and the least physical block I've ever seen, all at the same time. It was a very disciplined play, and it was huge. And then we turn around and get the 2-point conversion. It was a great feeling.
Yeah, I listened to your post-game interview after the game, and obviously you were a little emotional. What was the locker room like after that game?
Man, it was like the sidelines. It was pandemonium. It really was. They had a lot of fun, of course, on the way back on the bus, and you like to, I felt so good for the players. I think that the older that I've gotten, that it's not, I think sometimes coaches, we get upset about things, and sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, why are you getting upset? Is it because you feel like it's defining you as an individual, it's defining you as a coach? And I've tried my best to not think that way anymore, and it's all about the players, and it was so good for them to have a smile on their face after we've been through so many tough losses where the ball could have went either game could have went either way, and we were always on the wrong side, so it was good to get on the right side of a close game like that. And so it was awesome. It took us a while to even get in the locker room. It was like we were on vacation, at an amusement park. Everybody wanted to take pictures, and I'm like, hey, this is what we're supposed to do, guys. But it's a big win for our coaches. The staff. Those guys do a great job. So it was a good win for everybody.
Yeah, you talked after the game, and then you touched on it today about how the players were picking you up and maintaining a good attitude. Do you think that's because of the situations they've been in, that they're used to the pressure, or what do you think?
That's a great question. I don't really know. It was I think they saw that I was getting frustrated, and those guys show great leadership and really were basically talking me down, and just saying, hey, it's going to be all right. I was in a bad place, we were struggling offensively. It was hard to, you're trying as a coach sometimes to try to call the perfect play, as I said earlier, and you can't do that. And then your call sheet where you have your offensive plays, it starts looking like a credit card where you can't find anything on it, so small. Those guys just kept saying they were positive. They really were. We had guys involved in that game that were not playing, but were involved in it in a sense of they knew what was going on and were looking at things and were talking to their other, the guys that are playing in front of them. And I thought that was huge, and so yeah, they did. They did a great job of keeping me grounded in that game. They really, really did. Maybe they just know how my personality is too, that it can be, at times I would say it would be passionate maybe.
Last one I have for you is, going into senior night, this senior group has obviously been through a lot with the pandemic and the canceled season, and how emotional do you think it'll be to, ahead of the game or whenever you guys are doing senior introductions, just one last time to get this game on the field?
Yeah, I think I've been here a long time, and all the game, it is pretty emotional for whatever year you're having, whatever type of year you're having. And of course with this group, it's different. It's different because they've been through so much. It's not been these past 2 years. It's not been a normal 2 years that they've been in, and I think that they've handled it really well. So I think you add that onto it, and then just understanding that it's the last time they're going to walk, and play in Welch Stadium, I think is huge. And a lot of these guys are truly the foundation, of our program, and are what we call, our kind of guys. OKGs is what we call them. And so it'll be an emotional time, and each one of them, and this is the greatest thing about football, is each one of them have a different story to tell. in their career here, whether they were a great player, an average player, a great leader, a not very good leader. I mean, just different stories to tell, and that's what's so special about this group.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
All right, we're good.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Yep, thank you guys. See you. See you guys.